Hey everybody, Dr. Albert Snow here, Holistic Gastroenterologist. I don't imagine there's anybody listening now. I'm just recording a show. I remembered a story that I used to tell, true story, that something that occurred in my life that I think is very funny. I thought I would just record it and put it on the inventory. You can listen to it if you care for my stories. This one is called Nostril, like nose, culturist. And this is when I had some of these health food stores, and I really I like to play jokes I can say on people, but they weren't mean, or they were fun, and they would involve oftentimes several groups of people or several people in on the skit that they didn't know they were in on. They didn't know there was a skit going on. So this is one of my favorites. Is Used to have a school teacher. She was younger, but she was really what you would think of as a school teacher. She appeared to be like kind of pure and innocent and even naive. And she was new to the health food scene. And at this time, I was working in there a lot. We just opened up a store, and I was the primary person right there. And I was actually going way back. I had my education. I already graduated from school, but I was still, I wasn't sure just exactly what I wanted to do. So I was hanging out in the stores. So she used to come in, and she'd ask kind of these, what I consider dumb questions. I didn't say it to her, but, she was amazed at everything. Tofu was amazing to her. Granola was amazing to her. And so they moved in down the street was a community of Sikhs, an Indian faith, I think of it's right there, from India. Well, these people were from the United States, younger people. They had joined the Sikh faith. There was a Sikh yogi, or yogi master, Yogi Bhajan, and he had disciples in the United States. And they built a community down the street from my store, and they wore turbans, and they had beards, and the men and some of the women too had beards, and they were kind of a presence in a small town. All of a sudden, you got this army of, whoa, what's going on here? And she'd see him coming in and out, and they'd leave, and she'd just be so astonished, like, who are they again? Asked me, like, and she was really starting to get to me, like, tell me this story again. What did they do? So I finally said, I just made this up on the spot, which is what I like to do. I like to think of skits, and if I've thought about it before, I can't use it, and it needs to be spontaneous. So I was a little bit aggravated with her, and I was finding a way to kind of like get back at her for aggravating me. I said, you haven't seen anything. If they're blowing your mind, I said, you haven't seen anything. You wait till the nostril culturists come in. I said, I know you've been in here. You've been rubbing elbows. You didn't even notice. Of course, she's got like, oh, really? Who are the nostril culturists? I said, I said, they believe in an obscure passage in the Bible. Hardly anyone knows it's there. It's called, it says something like, thou shalt live off the food of thy nostril of thy man. And I don't know if I'm saying it directly, but that's what it says. Thou shalt live from the nostril of thy man. And what that means is that there was a sect way back when, and they still survived, and to this day, where they believe that the nostril is the ideal place to grow like organic, really organic stuff. I mean, organic, your own food out of your own breath and such. So she's going like, really? And I'm thinking, I as I said, I'm agitated with her. I'm thinking of a way just to kind of blow her mind, but she wasn't blowable. She just wasn't, you couldn't get to her. She just, really? Oh, yeah. So one of my specialties is I try to put something out there that's preposterous, and if somebody grabs it like bait, I then start telling a more and more preposterous story to see how far I can get away with it. And it turns out to be funny and fun. So she was blown away, and then she left. She did her every Friday after school. On Friday she'd come in, and she parked across the street with her little styrofoam little container, because she thought all natural vitamins and supplements, everything need to be refrigerated every moment. I used to tell her, you can get those things home, without, you don't need a styrofoam thing, you got to bring the styrofoam. It kind of aggravated me too. So there was another guy that hung around all the time at all our stores, and his name was Jamie, and we didn't know if he seemed to be homeless. His specialty was mucking horse stalls. So there was several, I don't know if you call them horse farm stables in the area, and it looked to me as though he slept in the stable, somewhere, but he was always, a nice guy. Not sure about if he was 100% with it or not, but he seemed a little light. And he knew that we would have candy bars that would expire. And even sometimes they get these little weird worms in them. There's no preservatives. And, and because we were so poor back then, we didn't run an air conditioner sometimes in the summer, or we ran it only part-time. And you come in the morning, there'd be things growing in all the candy bars, some of the food. So Jamie knew this. He saw us one time, like, taking a case of candy bars and just throwing them in a dumpster. So he showed up all the time when he knew it was convenient, a good time, and he'd stand there just waiting to hear if there was any spoiled candy bars, and he just, wouldn't say anything. And eventually we said, Jamie, would you like these? And so, and we showed him. I said, Jamie, you're eating a candy bar, and you have a worm thing on your lip. And he just didn't. He did it like it was a piece of a cookie. Just, I said, Jamie, that was a worm, and he never said anything. So he was always there on Fridays. He knew that's the day we kind of like took an inventory of the candy bars, and he'd always be there. Didn't have a car, didn't have, but he always somehow show up there. And he ate a whole box, 24 of them in the afternoon. So he's standing there, and I see the woman. I see the school teacher coming out across the street. There's a lot of traffic, and so I didn't really think, but I was trying to bring my conversation with her to another level. I wanted to blow the lady's mind, So I had told her that these people grow food, because I had a lot of seeds, little lentils and different seeds in there, selling them, in bulk, and I used to tell her, I said, one way you can tell. She goes, how are they? How do I tell? I said, well, look at the basket. They have a hand basket. That's all we had. You'd see a lot of seeds in there. I said, I think they're running rutabagas and maybe beets right now. I'll have to check. And so she goes, what? So I said, yeah, you can look. I said, one way you can tell is they'll have little sprouts coming out of their nostrils. That, I'm making this stuff up as I go along. Every time I see her, I'm trying to blow her mind, so I'm bringing it to another level. I said to her, I said, you'll notice that if they're here for more than 15, 20 minutes, they'll go out on a sunny day, they'll go out on the sidewalk and raise their nostrils up towards the sun, and they'll stand still for 10 or 15 minutes. And, you might not have noticed it. And I don't think I've seen that. I said, yeah. So, and you'll see the kids, often they use the small things like Brussels sprouts. They get these little mini versions of them, not the ones that, even though the ones we know of in real life are smallish. No, we're talking about mini. There's companies, I'm telling her, that sell mini vegetable and fruit packs, and make little tiny, what do you want to grow? Little potatoes. And so she said, what? How do they grow? I said, well, the matter that accumulates in the nostril, and then you have breathing. There's the air. You get the sun. I told you about that. And then they have the little mister things. They'll get the drugstore, and they put water and they spray it. Yeah. So you'll notice the kids oftentimes grow the real small stuff, and the parents grow, And they're looking. I mean, I believe they told her this. I said they breed for the big nostrils. Now they're hoping, they cross their fingers that it's going to be a boy, and it's going to be a big boy and have big nostrils. Yeah. So I told her that. So she was amazed. So I said, yeah, just watch. You'll see stuff hanging out of their nose, and you might walk up to them and say, excuse me, sir, what are you growing at this time? Just ask them, what is that? What do you mean? If they say, what is it? Just say, what's hanging out of your nose? Just, don't be afraid. They're proud of it. It's in the Bible. So she's like watching people. So last time she was there, she said to me, there's no such thing as nostril culturists. I said, well, if you don't believe me, that's fine. So I'm running out thinking, shoot, how am I going to get her back here? She's doubting it. So I said to her, I'm gonna try to arrange to have one here next Friday when you, because I know Jamie was always there. I said, so maybe you can talk to one, and when you're talking, just kind of like maybe even pretend you're bending over and you look up. And you look up and you try to, look up their nostril while you're picking up your fork or something, like, look up there, So, and then if you want to be bold, you just ask them, hey, what's up? What crop are you running now? You should see when they get the corn. Oh, phew, the corn just hanging out like that. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Yeah, they grow all kinds of stuff. I mean, even the fruits, The kids grow the little currants and, little small stuff. But, oh, yeah, I've seen baby watermelons. Yeah, they hang right out there. Like, I mean, they're hanging like on a little vine, and they're small, but they're big on that scale. Yeah, the kind of baby watermelons, yeah, cantaloupes, all those kind of things. Bananas, yeah, big crop. And of course, the women, they do it too, and they even have grandparents. Their nostrils are maybe a little more tired, but they start them off at like about a couple of years old. Yeah, with small, very basic, simple stuff. Some brown rice or something like that, alfalfa. So she's getting anxious. She wants to see one. So she's coming across the street. It's busy. Jamie's standing there looking for the candy bars. And I don't know if I even thought of it. I just ran for the back, grabbed a bunch of, because I'm trying, this is a combo. I can get 2 for 1 here. I can get Jamie, I can get her 2 for 1. You don't get many of those. I run to the back and I just grab a bunch of grass. And I run up to Jamie, looking that she's not getting across the street yet, too much traffic. I said, Jamie, don't ask me anything. I'll explain later. Just take all this grass here and stick it up your nose. And stand by the door and look straight ahead. Don't say anything. Don't laugh. Don't just stand there. I said, there'll be a reward for you. See those candy bars over there? Okay, just get that grass up there now. Hurry up. Grass. So he's got it all. I said, make sure you can see it. So he's got it up there, and I'm kind of watching. She's coming, and I'm just sort of spreading it out, making it nice and neat. So he's standing right by the door. You can't miss him. And she comes in. She's got one step in the building, and she's going like, and her, she's a teacher, and she's really innocent in her most sarcastic way that she's capable. She says, any nostril, I think she was going to say culturists here today? And she looks over at Jamie, and she sees all this stuff hanging out of his nose. And I'm just looking at Jamie, like, just stand there, man. So she kind of like froze in midair. It's like, how's somebody do that? How's that 1 foot up in the air like that? Never sits down. About seemed like a minute. She's frozen. And Jamie, I'm going, Jamie, just look. Don't give him a look. And so she turns all white. And she's holding her forehead, and she kind of staggers to the back of the store. There was an aisle right in front of her that was open. And there were some people looking at her like, you all right? And so we gave her some water. I said, what's the matter? She goes, well, I thought I saw something that I didn't see. So she goes, I'm all right because I know I didn't see it. And looking at Jamie saying, stand there. So she's hunched over, and I'm kind of worried, like, did I blow her mind? So I said, Jamie, here's a couple of candy bars. Stay right there and just smile, okay? Don't sneeze or anything. You're going to lose the whole thing. So he's happy. He's thrilled. So he's a candy bar for each hand. And so I said, you all right to her? I said, just, the light coming in from the building outside, who knows what it was. Whatever you thought you saw. So she goes, yeah, I know I didn't see it. I know I didn't. She goes, I better not have seen it. So she's moving around, and tell you how, we had no mercy really in those days. So I had Jamie just stand there, man. And so I could have just sent Jamie out in the front, on the sidewalk or something. Get out of here for now. Now Jamie stand right there. He knows there's 22 more candy bars in there. So she walks up, and she's looking. She's trying to be nice, as she always is, and just, wow, you have a lot of stuff here. A lot of stuff. Where's those Sikhs? I go, I don't know. I don't see any Sikhs. And she looks over at Jamie, just as she's taking stuff out of her basket and put it on the counter. She freezes with these frozen peas in her hand. She freezes. She turns white again. It's like a statue. And I'm looking at Jamie saying, you just stand there, Jamie. Don't move. And so he's chewing. And so he's got like a worm thing on his hand. It's like, wow. She's just, she just put her basket, her purse down. She put the stuff on the counter. She had her head down, and she, wasn't talking. She just paid. She looked down at the ground. She walked to the door and looked at Jamie on the way out, and just shook her head, and she went off, and I never saw her again. She was there probably 82 Fridays in a row, some crazy streak, and that was it. Never saw her again. So that's my nostril culture story. One last part of it, though, as I had put an ad, this is before the internet, put an ad in some magazines, free ads and ads that cost nothing about nostril cultures. I just wrote, for all you fans, here's your nostril culturist farming kit. If you want to join the crowd, grow all your fruits and vegetables in thy nostril of thy man, like God intended. I said, here you go, here's your chance. So I put these ads out, and I said, nobody's going to be crazy enough to respond. Yeah, phone calls and letters came in, letters and no emails. So people, one guy showed up, and I said, well, they're unpacking them all on the back. We can't give you one right now. They fly out of here. Well, how come you don't have any? I said, because somebody just came in and bought like all 172 of them. Yeah, so there'll be more here. So next week, guy comes in. Where's all the nostril kits? I go, oh, they sold out again. I said, they sold out. Guy just left. He bought like 182 of them. He goes, wow. So I would get calls from people saying, what do you want? How can I help you? He says, I want to get one of those nostril kits. He said, you said you had like a free wheelbarrow with it. He used to give a free wheelbarrow, a pitchfork, little tiny things. I had to find some little plastic, tiny, miniature little, like farm little toys. Yeah, and I had probably 10 of these things, little kits, and I put together little, little groups of them so that somebody come in, they would get a little baggie. I say, here, no, take it, it's on me. No. I want to see more people get started in the nostril culturist movement. I believe in it. I said, just remember, breathe deep, nostril to the sun. That's our motto, nostril to the sun. Because I said, I'm a closet culturist. So I said, next time I see you, I expect you to have something in there. Growing. Yeah. Don't come in here empty nostril. Another saying I developed is an empty nostril, empty stomach. Empty belly. You can't have an empty nostril and expect to feed your family. So, the idea is that everybody's independent. You have your own nostrils, and you have 2 crops going, and then you rotate them, and you barter. If you have 10 people, you say, I'll give you 2 squash, and you give me a zucchini or something. So I had that going. I still do. That was 20-something years ago. I still do. People begging for more, little miniature tools in there looking for. I send the seeds. Used to. And I say, here's a little kit. And I put, so much of each seed in little baggies and sell it to them. Say, there you go. Here's your seeds for the spring. People are growing the flax is really popular this year. Yeah. So that's what I did. That's what I do. Now I'm a naturopathic doctor, but I'm also pretty crazy with the stories. And these are every one of them are things that I really did in, my life. I just used to get bored or just always wanted to be up to something. So that's my nostril culture story. If you want any tools, if you want to get the newsletter, send it a request to the Holistic Gastroenterology. Now, I'm trying to figure out which one. I used to have our own email. No, just go holisticgi@yahoo.com. Say, interested in nostril culturism tools newsletter. Okay, and I'll get it right out to you. Make sure you put your name and address. All right, thanks.